The Voyage simulator makes it easy to answer common questions about arrival times. Here's a classic example. The MD expedition is scheduled to sail in ballast from Flushing to Sept-Iles with a Laycan of October 9th to October 14th. First, let's make sure the ETD draft and costs are set up correctly. Since Expedition is departing the EU and will sail through ECA, both costs are needed to build a realistic simulation. In this case, we will simulate using speed, although you can also use RPM or %MCR and follow the same process. Now let's begin to simulate. We can drag this slider around and instantly see how speed affects our ETA duration and costs. It looks like a speed over ground of 9 knots will put us right inside the end of our Laycan window, whereas a speed over ground of 8 knots puts us right outside. In cases like this, you could be more precise by entering specific details. You can also see that to arrive at the beginning of our Laycan, it would require Expedition to sail at about 12 knots, and we can easily compare the difference between these two options by creating another simulation. First, let me label this option so I can easily reference it. Duplicate the simulation so I have two simulations with the same route, and modify the speed over ground to 8.5 knots. We can now easily compare the difference between these two options, and this is especially useful to compare what weather a ship is expected to encounter at these two different speeds, such as in this example of the Northern Atlantic. As you can see, sailing at 8.5 knots or faster, the ship is expected to exceed the wave height safety limits set by the team. Because the scenario is quite common, we've also added an option to simulate by setting an RTA instead of finding an RTA using speed. You can find the speed needed to make a given RTA. Because we know your vessel through our VPMS, we make sure to only allow you to select RTAs that are achievable by your vessel. In this example, the earliest you can arrive is October 8th. The ocean is dynamic and weather conditions are constantly evolving. While the Voyage simulator excels at providing point-in-time intelligence, we highly recommend Wayfinder's optimization product in use for daily operations.